What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Wealth Not Wait. I am your host, as always, Joseph Kawis, and on the Wealth Not Wait channel, this episode of Making a Mogul, given how it's going to be the last episode before Halloween, I wanted to do something a little fun for it because I've seen the same type of people, the same architectural person who did the video on all the New York property stuff, which I used to analyze New York properties. There's only 3 of them, so it's not a lot of analyzing I got to do on it. But the same person did a breakdown of all the Wayne manors. And being a huge comic book nerd and a Batman fan and stuff, I thought it would be fun to take a look at that and see, maybe talk about it, see if it was like an investment opportunity, what properties would be good to invest in it, and just have a little fun with it and talk about something like that, even though it is out of the realm of like an actual investment and more pop culture and stuff. But I thought I'd get a kick out of it, and I thought you guys would enjoy it as well. So we're going to jump right into it, and we're going to show the first one. And as always, go back into the Making the Mogul research section, and you guys can see the videos firsthand, which I highly recommend you do. So let's jump right into it. So jumping right into it, the first one was the one they covered from the comics. They did both the live action and they showed just one from the comics, from the very original. And they talked about it and showed it, and he goes, it looks very much like a normal house, and I can't agree more. It looks like just a house I would invest in on Landa. There's definitely houses I've seen not too far from that that's been on something like Landa. I would happily pay $7 a share for it if it's giving me a good cash flow or something like that. It doesn't look too far removed. And back then, back in the 20s, and I think it was the 39 when it was Batman was created in 1939, that's what the houses were. That's what a big house was like. That's what a millionaire would live in. That's what a millionaire would live in, because Bruce Wayne was not a billionaire yet. He was a millionaire. So just think, Bruce Wayne's wealth is a lot more attainable than you think. So the first one was just look at a normal house I invested in Landa. Again, I'd happily pay $7 a share. I cover all of them. So moving along into the third house they showed, this was one from the Batman and Robin show, the very first Batman and Robin show that they did. I think it was like 39 or something like that, 40s, right around there. Well, this was after the war, so it was in the 40s. Again, it looked like a nice, happy, good, big residential house. Again, not too far from something we'd see on Landa. Not quite the same thing, but I'm sure when Landa expands out that kind of area, in Atlanta you don't see a lot of that kind of architecture, and again in New York you don't see it, but as sure as it expands out to things like Tampa, things like Jacksonville, North Carolina, this one, that one, and to things like that, this one, that one, I'm sure as they expand out and do different areas, you're going to see more architecture like that, and it looks like, again, something I'd pay $7, $10 for a share on Landa. It looks like a good investment property. And something along those lines, and what a millionaire would live in, what an average millionaire would live in, who just so happens to dress up and fight crime as a bat. Go past the Tim Burton ones, there's not really a whole lot I could do as far as talking about the investment aspect of it, but the first one is literally a whole castle, and all of them look very fantastical and amazing in Tim Burton art style, which, being a creative person and a Batman fan, I totally love. And again, I encourage you guys to go watch this video, because just seeing them and watching the architectural breakdown, talking about the different archways and how it's set up, and the real world actual buildings, and then the ones that they built models for, it's really cool, and the video is really interesting. Speaking along into the Batman Begins one, the house they used was built by the Rothschild family, and it definitely looks like art galleries, you know, old school NFTs type stuff, anything like that, or the Rothschilds, whatever kind of art they would have been doing back in the day. It looks like something that would set up for it. So you see what someone who is a mogul, you know, a financial mogul, real estate mogul, a wide variety and a wide area of expertise mogul, especially real estate, what that house would have looked like, especially someone who is one of, if not the richest people at the time when it was built. And again, they had that cool art gallery, so they could have posted their great-great-great-great-grandfather's NFT collection on it. Something else that I wanted to do was the Dark Knight house. The Dark Knight was the penthouse. They didn't use the actual penthouse. Again, I don't want to give too much away. I encourage you guys to watch the video. But the penthouse was very minimalist. Something that myself love. I love functionality. I like something that looks nice and it looks cool, but I don't like it with a lot of crap that just doesn't do anything. I want it to be functional. I want it to look good. And I don't need a whole lot of stuff, given why I'm selling off a lot of things. And I found out that that's something I would really enjoy. Just kind of a little side thing about me is that, like, I was like, okay, this is something that I would enjoy as like a penthouse type thing. Not necessarily a big sprawling manor if, you know, we get to that point where, or when it gets to that point where it's like, okay, I gotta purchase a house type thing. I'm much more of an in the city, overlooking type thing, instead of a big mansion in the countryside type of person. But again, that's just a personal preference. If Landa has anything that's like a penthouse type of thing, an apartment, like something in a building that you can invest in, something kind of like that, that may be something I'd take a look in, because one, I like the property, and then 2, it could be a good investment depending on who's living there. That would be an interesting thing, and I'm sure if Landa grows bigger and gets a lot bigger in that capacity, that's something that they would have as like penthouse or stuff in big buildings like that. But to the Zack Snyder one, the only thing I have to say to that one is obviously it's not pressure washed. It looks like some, no, I'm just kidding. It doesn't look like some of the Landa houses. The Landa houses are pretty good, but that one, the Zack Snyder Batman house, obviously they stripped it down. It looked desolate. And again, as like I said, it was very obviously not pressure washed before they took the photos. And finally, they filmed part of the Robert Pattinson Batman, the exterior of it in Chicago, because you can see there's different areas. As you can see, there's different areas of it, and a lot of New York architecture, and again, a big penthouse type thing. Not a huge fan of the Gothic style. I think that would kind of deter some people from renting it, especially kids with families. I don't think would really want to be there. I think a little 3-year-old's like, oh, yeah, I don't like that. Unless they plan on growing up and dressing up like a bat, then maybe. But other than that, I think that would definitely deter renters. Otherwise, yeah, I think it's a very great apartment. So I hope you guys like this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know in the comments below, after going through and watching this video and seeing it, what are your thoughts on the Batman houses? What are your thoughts on the Wayne Manors or something like that? Is it interesting to find that most of them weren't these big sprawling manors in the beginning, especially for someone who's like a millionaire? And again, with the Adam West house, something I don't think I covered, the Adam West house was just a millionaire's nice house. Again, not too far from something we'd see on Landa. That's something that kind of shocked you or surprised you, or were you just expecting the full Gothic treatment all the way? If you guys like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.